Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This morning I woke up to the heavy rain, sound of heavy rain. We're having a very wet day today here in Lower Hutt. And I wonder if the rain has kind of subsided a little bit, but it might come back. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it from your end. So anyway, it's a beautiful sound. And every morning, at the start of every class, we will do a heart prayer. And this is a meditation that can help us get into a good place in our heart, a place where we can feel the heart and feel the 5 essential qualities, the 5 Xin qualities there. And it's very important that we are connected with our hearts because our heart has a very strong connection with the true self. And the true self is where wisdom comes from. Our true self has a lot of wisdom, and it is able to access the wisdom of the universe. But it takes our heart to have that access, to the wisdom. So it's very important that our heart is in a good place to do that. And a good place is when it's in a very healthy and natural state, and that's when the 5 Xin qualities are present. Just like when you were little, or a baby or a little child, there's the heart, that can actually trust and open up and love and feel gratitude and respect. And so that's the kind of, pure heart that we want to live in, because that's how the wisdom of our true self can come through. I remember Yuan Tze once said to me that, because I was really trying to understand the connection between the heart and the true self, he said, when the heart is in a good place, it's like it's opening its arms and waving to the true self and tell the true self to come and join the heart to be together. So so this is how we access wisdom. And so at the start of every class, we do this heart prayer to help us get to that place. And also we want to use this prayer to get into a state where our heart can also connect with the world and put this beautiful bright light from our heart out to the world and expand this chi field to the whole world, so that we can help everybody get to that place as well. Okay, so let's do that now. Gently close your eyes. Relax your body. Adjust your body so you are sitting in a very natural and comfortable posture. Relax every part of your body. And feel the state you're in. Get into a calm and natural state. Your body, your chi, your heart, consciousness, and Shen are all together inside. They are unified. You've become an observer of your own state. You can see all the changes of the state you're in. And you can be the master of your own state too. Whenever this good state is disrupted, you can make an adjustment and go back to it. When you're in this calm and harmonious state, you can feel joy arising naturally from inside. And your heart will come alive. Can you feel your heart? Can you feel something in your chest? Surely you can, because your heart is where you feel, is where all the feelings you feel come from. We can feel trust with our heart, the trust that has always been there in your heart. Very naturally present all the time. Unconditional. No expectations. Comfortable with any changes in the outer world. Feel that safe feeling when you feel trusting, when you feel trust. When you trust, your heart naturally opens up and you feel very safe to connect, to reach out, to connect with yourself. No need for self-criticism. Just connect with yourself, your heart, your shen, your mind. Connect with the world. Open up and open out to the universe. When the heart is open, it's naturally happy. It's unconditional happiness there. It's light and free. And feel love in your heart. Love. That warmth you feel in your heart. The power for creating miracles is right in your heart, and it's the love you feel. Unconditional love for yourself and for everyone. And feel gratitude in your heart. Grateful for everything, for your life. What a gift. For the air we breathe in. For the rain that provides all the water we need for life. And the beautiful sound we hear. For all the people in our lives. For all that we have. A roof over the head is a blessing. And feel Gong-Jing. Find that feeling of awe in all of the universe, that true respect. That's where we come from. We're part of it. And we're connected with everything in the universe. Be in this place in your heart, because this is where your life belongs to. This is your home. With utmost sincerity, unify with the universe. Unify with all forms of life. Unify with the human family. Put your hands on your chest. Share the following best wishes with the world. May everyone go into their heart to find refuge and feel safe. May everyone go into their heart to feel trust, openness, love, gratitude, and Gong-Jing. May everyone go into their heart to see beautiful bright light. May everyone go into their heart to meet their true self. From deep in your heart, wish everyone health, happiness, and growth. From deep in your heart, wish the world peace and harmony. Open your arms to the universe. Unify with the unconditional love and wisdom of the universe. Draw it back to your heart. Place your hands on your heart. Feel the peace and harmony inside. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Greetings, everyone.
今天是活动的第2天。
This is the second day of this retreat.
我们又有机会能够在精神层面进行相互的融合和交流。
It's another day to spend together to have connection and exchange on the Jinshen level.
今天呢，我们的活动分为2大块儿，从今天开始。那么上半时呢，我们开始进行祭典的主题来展开。
From today, our session will be divided into 2 parts, with a break in between.
下半时呢，我们就开始对同学们开始提出来的一个问题进行解答和探讨。
The first part will be used to look at one of the topics Yuan Tze has listed for the program for this retreat, and the second half of the session will be used for answering your questions.
那么这上半时呢，我们要展开的主题，主要还是跟目前当下我们所面临的处境，这个世界的一个重要的一个现状，来讲一讲。
And so the topic for the first session today is related to something that is happening in the world right now.
这两个主题呢，其实只指一个现象，都是与新冠与疫情相关的。
And it's the situation related to the pandemic.
因为什么放在今天一开始，新冠和疫情是我们当下世界，如果说很多的事情发生，这是最大的事情。
And COVID-19. Yuan Tze chose this topic for today because it is something that is affecting the whole of the world now. The pandemic, is happening globally.
我们几乎每一个人都身处其中，这个世界几乎每一个人在每一件事情上不同程度都受其影响。
Almost every person on this planet is being affected by this pandemic, and everyone's lives is more or less changed because of this.
当然，关于疫情的问题，我们在半年前，在3、4月份，我们就已经有一个以它为主题的一个9天的活动，我们已经全面展开和探讨过。
In the first half of the year, actually in April this year, when we had an online retreat, 9-day retreat like this one, Yuan Tze actually talked about all the issues related to the pandemic already, in quite a good depth.
那么今天我们要探讨的2个问题呢，第一个就是疫情在目前愈演愈烈，这是一个，而且没有停下来的趋势。
So the pandemic is actually the way it is now is getting worse, and so we at the moment can't really see any sign of slowing down.
如果这种情况长期下去，你会不会为此而忧心忡忡，或受了影响
Yuan Tze would like to help us look at how this can affect us, especially, whether. So he was actually asking if this is, going to be like this for some time. How would you be affected?
你自己的答案是什么？
So this is a question for you to answer for yourself.
如果是没有，自己并没有受这一切的影响，自己始终保持在一个非常正常的、健康的、良好的状态当中，那么恭喜你。
Do you think you can stay undisturbed and always be in a good, healthy state? If your answer is positive, congratulations.
但是从一般的情况，对我们大部分人来讲，有可能不同程度的都会受到影响，难免不会为此忧心。
But to most people, that's probably not easy, to be like that. Probably more or less, we get worried about the situation and what it will bring.
当然，每个人的程度、所关注的角度、优先的角度、程度都不太一样，这也是现实。
And everyone most likely has, a different way to look at it. We have our own angle, we take our own angle, and we have different, things to be concerned about.
只要受的影响，不管它程度如何，那就是影响，已经被影响到了，而这种影响又不是什么好的影响，它暂时不利的、有害的。
It is very common now that people get affected by this pandemic. When we say affected, we mainly mean in a negative way, in a way that is not, not working to the advantage of our lives.
既然它不是什么积极正面的事情，它是有害的，我们没有理由我们不去面对它，不去处理它。
So if it has become something like that, that can affect us in a negative way, that means it is causing, some harm to life, then we have to look at it and face it.
如何去面对呢？我们一起可以尝试从几个方面先看一看。
So how do we do that? Let's try to look at this, from a few different angles.
首先，我们认清一个真实的存在，一个现实，那就是疫情，它是真实存在的，它的影响也是正在发生的。
Firstly, we need to recognize that the pandemic is real. It's there, it's here, and it's having its impact, its effect.
那么，对这个真实的存在，一个客观的存在，我们是用什么样的态度来看待它的呢？
So when something has become reality, is real and become part of our reality, what should be our way to relate to it?
是不是一个客观的、开放的态度来看待它？
A healthy way to relate to it? Could it be seeing it objectively and also accepting it as part of the reality we're in?
不但如此，同时， 如果做得到的话，应该也要有同样的信任，包括整个的无形来看待和对待它。
And also, like with everything we relate to, 5 Xing qualities, should be how we relate to it too.
有一个正确的态度，一个看待，才会有正确的去对待，不然它会引起很多的问题和伤害。
So this means, treating it or seeing it with the heart, with 5 Xing qualities in our heart. So we're talking about how to view this situation, and this is very crucial, very important, because this is the base on which we deal with it. We, take action on. Our action comes from.
从现实的情况上来讲，很多人可能觉得一开始它的发生有担心、有恐惧、有害怕，当然也拒绝它，这是一个通常的很多人的一种反应。
When something like this happens, very often our immediate response is worry and fear. And what is, from that way of responding to it, what follows it is refusing to accept it,
当然
or finding it difficult to accept it.
当然也会有人不相信它的存在，或者是就是有存在，我很勇敢，我不害怕，但他我没有办法，或者是我有特别的护佑，他靠近不了我，伤害不了我，等等，这种各种各样的情况也同时存在，但这也不是一个正确的一个看待，
不是一个正确，还是是一个？
不客观的一个看待和对待。
And from there, we can have all kinds of strategies to to deny it. For example, we can just straight out think, no, it's not real. This pandemic or this COVID-19 disease is not real. Or we can resort to the strategy of thinking that we are invincible, it cannot possibly affect me. Or we can think that or believe that there is some sort of higher power protecting me from getting it or from being affected by it, and these are all the reactions that are not really based on the objective truth. So they are not objective ways of relating to it.
从疫情开始到现在，尽管我们很多人，可以说多数的人都很认真的想一些的办法去应对，想象到的正确的方法去应对它，去为之努力，但是迄今为止已经被证实的科学方法证实的，已经几千万人为此而付出生命代价死亡的也几十万人了，几十万还是多少？100万以上了。
是100万以上，全球是不是？
我具体的数字我不确定。我不知道多少。
So this pandemic has been going for some time now, and despite the effort to work with it. There's still already a large number of people who have been infected, and also a very large number of people who have lost their lives due to this disease. We're not quite sure about the exact number here, but the death toll is probably over 1 million globally. Don't quote us on that, but it is quite a big number.
我不知道真正的确切的死亡数字，但是我知道昨天我看到一个数字，美国的数字已经23万多了。
But
关美国。
we do know that in the United States alone, the death toll has reached to 230,000 or exceeded that number.
但是有很多的学者和机构都说，目前人类公布出来的染疫的数字远远不是几万4万的人数，也远远不是这么多。
But a lot of scientists and organizations that are watching this have said that the real figures are far greater than those figures we know of.
这种说法，在一定的程度上，我认为有极大的可能。
And Yuan Tze thinks that's there's a very high likelihood.
对于我们的同学，人学的学习者实际上来讲，在这个一开始，我们就已经针对这个问题进行探讨。我相信，在很多的看法和如何去看待和对待，我们有在这个基础上，我们受的影响相对会比较小。
To those of you who had done the workshop in April, Yuan Tze believes that what you've learned there probably has helped you, deal with this situation, and you probably have managed to keep the impact of the pandemic on your life at a minimal level.
但是，原来我们以为可能会在大家的努力之下，疫情会越来越少，越来越减缓到消失，而发现我们至少从数字上，染疫的人数、死亡的人数还在继续增加，甚至会突然爆发性的增加。
We were all hoping that the virus will become less and less infectious, and somehow this disease will naturally disappear after some time. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to be going that way, because the number still is suddenly going up, and in some areas, in some places, there's an explosion of the the disease, of the infected people, the number of infection. 可能有些人在想，可能疫苗出来、全面出来，或许这个问题就彻底解决了。 And some people are counting on the vaccine for it to solve the problem.
疫苗还在试验过程当中，它的安全性和有效性现在目前还不确定。
But at the moment, it is still in the process of developing vaccines, and so there's still a lot of uncertainty about it, about its safety and effectiveness.
如果这个疫情的态势长期下去，这个时候你会怎么反应？你会如何去想？
So what if this pandemic, just keeps going? Just keeps going on and on without an end. How would you feel about it?
是全然接受呢？全然开放呢？还是其他呢？
Are you able to be completely open and fully accept it? Or else?
这个其他，我认为可能更多的情况是有很多很多不同的情况，其中有少不了很多人在忍受。
If that's not what you're prepared to do, then there could be all kinds of possibilities out there, and one probably very common one will be just keep enduring or trying to tolerate it.
如果我们看待疫情是一个忍受的态度，我建议从现在开始，我们要真正正视这个态度，最好把它改变过来。
If that's how you feel, or how you treat or relate to this situation, just kind of counting the days and hoping, kind of dragging yourself through it this way. Yuan Tze thinks it's probably a good idea to take another look at it and see if it's possible to make a shift.
忍受的态度就是不接受。
When we try to, kind of tolerate something, like, it's actually a sign of not accepting.
我们一直讲，对于现实，对于客观，对于已经发生的一切的真实的事情，对一切的一切都要无条件的去接受，学会去接受的。
Learning to accept is a very important thing to do. And as we work on the heart, we are encouraged to accept everything unconditionally.
为什么要接受，无条件接受？因为它是已经成为一些事实已经发生了，我们不接受它，它还在那儿，它该发生的作用还在发生作用，不能因为我们不接受它就不存在。
Because when something has happened, it has, become reality, and the only way we relate to reality is to recognize that it's there and to accept it. And a reality will not disappear, or something that has happened will not reverse back and just disappeared just because we refuse to accept it. It will continue to be there and have its effect.
不接受是因为我们觉得那我们不喜欢它，它是有害的，它影响了我，伤害了我，它有危险，所以我们做了一个选择，我们不接受它。
So our decision to not accept something often comes when this thing is perceived as, harmful to us or unfavorable to us or dangerous to us. And so we are afraid of, the harm that, might be done to us. And so we choose to deny or to refuse to accept it.
不接受的态度是一种拒绝、抗拒、抵触的一种心态。
So this is this is an attitude of resisting, pushing something away, rejecting or refusing.
一方面抵触，不愿接受；一方面真实的事情，它在那儿，它一直在，它在发生着影响。你是选择不接受，但是事实在那儿，我们最后就是在不接受当中造成一种心态，它是一种从心理、从心灵、从意识到身方面，本身就形成一个不接受是一种情绪，这种情绪导致了精神层面的无法统一，是一种矛盾或冲突的状态，不能和谐。
But when something is, part of reality and it is continuing to develop and having all kinds of, impact or influence on the world we live in and on our lives, and yet we refuse to, to look at it or to accept it as part of reality. This is, 我怎么忘了你说是什么？
矛盾冲突。
This is what we are doing is to this is not just an attitude. It is also a strong feeling from our heart, and it's also the way we look at things on the consciousness level. So all this can create division within ourselves. We cannot be in a unified state. Life will be put in a kind of a split state, and so and when this is how life is, there's bound to be negative emotions that we can that can arise and we can feel. We can feel. So this is not a harmonious state of life at all.
你看，真实就在那儿，选择的是不接受、抵触，就是在这种情况下引发一系列的情绪，情绪之下导致消耗气、消耗伤神，导致整个心气神造成内乱、伤害，导致精神层面的痛苦，也会导致其他问题的产生。这是一个现实的过程。
So this is, very often the experience we have when something happens and we see it as not good for our lives, and straight away our response is to not accept, and following and immediately following that is all kinds of negative emotions. And we have all learned how negative emotions can can cause a lot of disturbance and harm to our qi, and that will have very unhealthy effect to a negative effect to our health as well. And of course, negative emotions we have can affect the people around us too. Can affect how we see things and how we relate to other people. So it can have very far-reaching impact.
如果这个世界发生任何事情，就因为我们不接受它不会发生，那这个不接受它还是有意义的。但问题是我们不接受，它该发生还是发生，还在连续发生。就是因为我们的不接受，我们真正首先就变成自我伤害的人。
So this unwillingness or inability to accept can be a very big source of problems, of harm in life. And the thing is, if it actually will help change reality, then maybe it has its value, but it doesn't. Whatever has happened and will continue to have its effect, and with or without your acceptance.
我们不接受的事情能不能伤害我，不知道，不一定。但是我们选择的不接受这个态度，伤害已经真实形成了。
And so, whether this thing that has happened is harmful to ourselves is another story. When we decide to not accept it, it's already causing ourselves harm.
因为我们一直讲，从人体的观点上来讲，我们世界上没有所有的事性，所有的事物只是事物本身，它本身没有属性，无所谓好或坏。如果说把它变成有属性，是我们人如何去看待和对待，变成了好或坏，它有了属性。
And this is why Yuan Tze has been trying to encourage us to see how that the things that happen in the world are not absolutely good or bad. Rather, it is how we see it, or how we relate to it, and how we deal with it that determines, if something is good or bad to us, to an individual. So it is, we decide whether something is a good thing or a bad thing. Now, maybe that was not very clear. We play the role of turning something into a good thing or a bad thing. And that is determined by how we, if the way we deal with it is causing harm to ourselves, then it is not a good thing to us. But if we can use that as an opportunity to grow, then it becomes a positive thing.
从这个角度上来看，我们害怕伤害，拒绝接受，最后真正造成伤害自己的，是事情本身还是我们自己呢？
And so if we can put everything in perspective, when we are when we have fear that something will cause us harm, and because of this fear we refuse to accept, and then but this refusal to accept actually is what is, causing harm immediately. So is this fear leading to less harm or more harm? This unwillingness to accept.
不但要选择接受，已经变成现实了，我们要接受；还没有变成现实的一切事情，未来会发生的事情，同样我们也要有开放的心态去接受。
So this is openness, this quality of the heart. Acceptance is the foundation for openness. So not only we need to learn to accept everything that has happened as part of reality. No, we need to be ready to accept anything that is going to happen, that has not happened yet but will happen. This is the essence of true openness.
没有这样的态度，等发生了再去接受，其实已经有点晚了。没有这样的态度，我们说将来会发生什么，我们喜欢什么，不喜欢什么，我们希望什么发生，不喜欢什么发生，就以先入为主了。但事情真正发生的时候，还会陷入到那个挣扎的那个状态当中。
So when things already happened and we, try to accept, it's already a little bit late, So that's why Yuan Tze is saying that, we should be ready to accept everything that is going to happen. That means we need to look at our preferences, what we like, what we don't like. Oh, this is what I want to see, and that is not what I want to see. When we have, these differentiations or expectations, then when things happen and they are not what we like, we're bound to feel this fear, and this, reluctance to accept will definitely, show up, and that's why, it is actually better to remain open about everything that is going to happen. So we don't need to go through this, unnecessary step, to try to adjust ourselves, so we can accept.
所以要学会真正的接受，这是一开始非常重要。只有我们前面建立起接受的心，才会产生另外一颗心，才会包容，包容心才会产生。
So we need to look at, our expectations and all the, the preferences and judgments we make, and true acceptance is accepting everything, and that is the foundation for accommodating, truly embracing everything.
有了接受和包容的心在发展，才会产生更加纯粹的开放的心。
And this pure acceptance and accommodating or embracing is, the prerequisite or are the prerequisites for openness, for complete openness.
所以有这样的心态， 他就不会因为我已经忍受了这么久了，大半年了，如果再继续下去，越演越烈，没完没了。忍受它是有限度的，当我们精神有撑不住的那一天，它会崩溃，会爆炸，那就彻底的更大的伤害。
If we have this true openness, we won't need to suffer from, endurance, or from like tolerating. We won't be, doing like, Jesus, or sorry, gosh, I have been putting up with this situation for 7 or 8 months now. How much longer will it keep going? And or feeling that if it keeps going for another 5 months, then I'm gonna like this. We have run out of options. We have run out of patience, and the tolerance will run out, and we just don't want to deal with it anymore. This is something, the way we feel or deal with it when there is no true openness.
在半年前，我们活动中也提到过，疫情本身发生它就发生了，自然发生了，我们就要正确去看待和对待它。它疫情本身无所谓好坏。如果从另一个角度上来讲，它的发生，你可以从好的方面来看，有无数的给我们人类带来的机会和好处。我们为什么不能从好的方面来发展它呢？
And in April, Yuan Tze helped us see how it is possible to not see the pandemic as a good thing or a bad thing. Because if we, like he said, if we see it as straight bad thing, then all the responses we have to it, could lead to all kinds of harm. And so he tried to help us see, the positive side of a pandemic. And there are so many things that we can learn from this situation, and there are so many opportunities for us individuals and humanity as a whole to grow from it as well. So it is not just a negative thing at all.
疫情的发生，难道不是我们这个宇宙自然也是自然的智慧和爱的体现吗？难道真的我们人类发展到现在，我们每个人自己有没有真正做自己？这个人类的社会是不是走在正确的路上？难道我们就这一直冲下去吗？而疫情是不是给我们的一个停下来，好好的反省，好好的发想，好好的思考和面对自己的一切？难道不是一个自我发现、自我觉醒的机会吗？
For example, can we not see the pandemic as an opportunity? given by the universe for us humans to look at the way we live, the way we are, the way how we are, living our lives, how we are not able to, to be our true self, not able to, to slow down and look at our lives. So isn't this a great opportunity for us to go inward, to get to know ourselves better, and to to find out exactly what needs to be changed, individually and collectively, for us to move forward.
我们需要发现、需要学习、需要改变的太多了，方方面面，没有一个地方不需要。
There is actually so much we humans need to change, and so much we need to work on, and so much work needs to be done for that to, for real change to happen. And we actually urgently, badly need this opportunity.
这不正是一个很好的机会吗？就是一个我们说，就是疫情，这个新冠没有了，将来会不会有其他的疫情、更严重的疫情发生呢？谁敢保证呢？
So isn't this pandemic a gift from the universe to us? We can see it as the love of the universe for us humans. It's given us this opportunity to set things right. And the thing is, even if we do pull through this pandemic and come out, and become free of it, we never know when the next one will come.
我们能够感受到的是，这个世界越来越多的动荡不安、天灾人祸，也越来越迅猛的形式、密集的形式、激烈的形式在呈现。它何尝不是一个在全面的在帮助我们人类救出的机会呢？
Yuan Tze can sense that the world is changing very fast, and the change has become more and more, drastic, and we are facing a lot of challenges and crises, and they will keep coming and more frequently as well. But just like this one, they're all opportunities for us to take a look at ourselves and to make the necessary change.
真正的救赎是我们人类每一个人真正的去面对发生的一切，学会正确的去看待。当我们受牵扰以后，任何事情，当我们真正受了牵扰以后，都是我们学习和成长的机会。我们会好好把它利用起来，这一切才会变得有意义。
So every time it's an opportunity given to us to save ourselves. So as long as we are disturbed by it, when we are causing ourselves harm in the way we deal with or respond to it or react to it, then there is a big lesson for us there, to learn from.
在这个问题上，从哪里开始？如果我们在忍受，要把它变成接受，最后变成全然的开放，这就是我们需要做的。
And that, working on ourselves when we see that it is causing ourselves harm, is the way to save ourselves. That's the path we take. When we want to respond in the way that can eventually save ourselves. And this, is kind of putting us in a position that we are forced to learn to accept and to, eventually to have this unconditionally open heart. Unconditional open heart.
我们说五心已经离开我们的自己，我们也离开五心越来越远。那么从开放开始，作为一个切入口，我们也可以真正有可能就一个切入口，真正回归我们心灵深处，五心全面建立。
The world is the way it is now, partly because we are too far away from our hearts, from the five Xin qualities. And so it's coming back to that, to find these five Xin qualities in our heart and to, help them establish themselves there and manifest themselves consistently. And, we need to refine them.
好，两个主题，第一个主题我们简单说到这儿，接着下一个主题就是你是否为自己和你的家人就到底应不应该接种新冠疫苗而犹豫不决。
This is the first topic for this discussion. The next one we will look at is also on the list you've received, whether what's the question here? 你是否对于家人要不要接种疫苗犹豫不决？Are you wondering whether you or your family should get the vaccination?
有没有犹豫不决的情况？
Have you been wondering about that? Or is it a hard decision for you too?
从大家的反馈当中，我能感受到一些，还是不少人有犹豫不决。
He can now sense that many of you have been wondering about this.
对于这种情况，我能够理解。
And that's totally understandable.
但是我们同时还要必须要面临一个选择。
But, this is a choice we eventually will have to face.
这个选择有点接近于二元选择，接受还是拒绝。
And this decision is binary. It's, yes or no.
往往越是这样的选择太少，往往很难做决定。
So not many options there, just the two. And this kind of choice is especially difficult.
但在这个问题上，正因为没有太多选择，我们还要必须选择。
Due to the lack of options, but still, we can't escape this decision that we need to make.
这个问题其实不光现在，其实有很多我们的同学已经用不同的渠道问过我们。我们说以后呢，就是一起跟大家来回答吧。
One of the reasons Yuan Tze included this question here is, or this topic is that people had been asking us about this.
我要说的第一个就是你自己选择你自己和你家人到底接种不接种疫苗，我们有特定的态度和建议，一切还是由你自己和你们家人自己来决定，这是原则。
In principle, Yuan Tze's position on this is that it is largely your decision or your family's decision to decide whether or not to get vaccinated, and so this is the underlying principle here.
也本来就是这样，人必须为自己的人生、为自己的健康、幸福、快乐成长，自己应该给自己做决定，自己做自己的主人，不是别人。
So he's not trying to persuade you in any way, and this is how life is. Everyone needs to make their own decision, be the master of their own life.
对于我们的角色，我自己的角色最多只是做你朝这个方向发展的有力的支持者、后盾。
And Yuan Tze sees his role as a person who can provide some support in your decision making.
为什么选择那么困难呢？更多的问题主要还是集中在，虽然形态很多很多的有意不一样，但主要我觉得还是集中疫苗对人它的真正的安全性和有效性的问题在此。我觉得应该在这个问题上有疑惑。
Why is it so difficult for people to make this decision? Yuan Tze believes that it's mainly the concern about the safety and the effectiveness of the vaccines.
要不要看这两个问题？当然要看。看这个问题，关注这个问题也是合理，是正确的。
And these are what we need to look at. So it is rightful to have such a concern.
人类在健康领域防病治病，特别是进入到静态，随着科学技术、医学的发展，有很多的成就不断产生。
Modern medicine has been making a lot of progress in modern time, modern time meaning, probably in the last century. 你说近代是指什么？就是指100年来差不多。Yeah, and that includes the measures we take for preventing infectious diseases.
比如说疫苗，过去有多少的疾病，过去称它为瘟疫，现在成为包括传染病在内多少疾病？这种病症在过去来讲会产生大量的人员的爆发性的群伤，但这种情况，特别是有疫苗问世以来，从总体上来讲，疫苗在这个方面，在防病，它起到可以说不可忽视的、有价值、有意义的作用。
In the past, infectious diseases had caused, a lot of damage to human life. A lot of, death. Often in large scale as well. So in modern time, many of these infectious diseases have been kept under control or even eradicated, and the use of vaccination, plays a very big role in that.
相较于过去，你看人的平均寿命，就是100-200年前人的平均寿命多少，现在多少？当然了，平均寿命的增加有其他系统性的改变做支撑，但是疫苗在其中也扮演的蛮重要的角色。
If you look at the life expectancy of human beings, in modern time it has increased, by a lot, and of course, many things have contributed to that, but the vaccination, does play a part. Surely has played a part in that.
疫苗对人类的健康、防病、治病不可磨灭的作用和贡献，这个我们首先要承认的。
So we, the effect or the contribution of vaccination, in preventing infectious diseases and the possible, damage that could cause to human life, has to be recognized. We need to recognize that contribution.
与此同时呢，在疫苗的发展的历史当中，也有很多不成功的例子，包括已经实际应用的疫苗当中，也会产生一些其他的问题和副作用和其他的附带的副作用的一些损伤和问题，它也是存在的。
But on the other hand, the use of vaccination on humans has also created some problems. Actually, there are all kinds of problems. Including strong side effect.
当然涉及到不同的疫苗、不同的应用， 这种情况到不完全相同的结果。
But this is a very complicated thing to look at. Each vaccination, the vaccination for every disease can have its own story, and so it's it's not something that we can just你的什么意思？就有不同的
结果，各种不同的疫苗。
it's something with a very high degree of complexity when we look at it.
就比如说，有些疫苗在实验过程当中，甚至已经到广泛应用的过程当中，才发现它有效性和安全性都有问题，最后被迫下市，这种情况也有发生。
And it is not uncommon that a vaccination for a particular disease, is found to be unsafe, and had to be withdrawn after it has been widely used, widely applied.
但是其实某种程度的负面的伤害的影响已经形成了，这种情况。
But a lot of damage has already been done.
所以在这种情况下，有这个前提的情况下，大家对疫苗才会那么到底要不要种，才会犹豫不决。
Things like that can really, make people feel unsure about getting vaccination. When you hear things like that.
特别是很多人想的可能还更多。确实是，我们现在很多人类的疾病，很多的一些病症、一些现象，是不是疫苗有关系？是有关系，还是绝对没关系？凭现在的医学发现了一些，但更多的有可能也不一定能发现得了，这也是个未知的因素。
And also, many health conditions seem to be related to vaccination. Often the link is not that easy to establish, but still, some of the the situations or the suspicions there, are quite they the link is not that weak, we can say. So, and there could be many other potential health problems that can be potentially linked to vaccination, but we don't know yet. This is one area that is attracting a lot of attention.
那么在这种情况下，就像我们一开始说的，我们必须要去选择怎么办。对我们每个人来讲，我们是必须要去看清这些问题，而且要做一个相对更有利于自己的决定和选择。
And so when this is, the situation, the circumstances we under, and yet we have to make a decision, make a choice. The choice making can become very difficult.
我们考虑的 我们做判断的主要要素就是2个：安全性和有效性。在这个情况下是否有所保障？
So once again, 2 things to consider: safety and effectiveness. They need to be, be the base for our decision making. We need to be, ensured of that.
这2个安全和有效2个的特性的问题，首先呢，我们得寄希望于，那是要寄希望我们的现在的科研机构、科研人员要本着科学真正的科学的精神，认真负责的来从事这项工作。
And to provide safety and effectiveness for these 2 things to be ensured, we need to rely on the scientists who are developing the vaccines. They will have to be take this job very seriously.
既要有科学精神，还要有科学的良知和道德。
Now they need to have the scientific
原则，还有
take this job very seriously. Also, they need to have the conscience, the moral principle, guiding them at this job.
有了这些东西呢，我们就在很大的程度上就能也有一些保障了。比如说，人为了追求利益，无论是个人还是团体还是财团，各种的利益的追求，还有政治的干扰等等等等一切的因素，这个很多的可以排除掉。
When it comes to something like this, especially something that will be applied on a very large scale, a lot of interest groups will be involved, including the government, but at the end of the day, the quality of the scientists' work, is the bottom line that should not be, lightly crossed. That's where the insurance should come from.
如果能够科学界能够抱出这样的态度，我认为疫苗的安全性、有效性将会这2个特性会越来越高。那么在这种基础上，我们人选择去用它，总体上还是受保护是有利的。
So Yuan Tze's view on this is that, if the scientists are doing, their job properly, and over time, and given, that could mean that it will take time for them to do that, and what comes out of their, good work, is, good products, good vaccines, then we should, put. 最后你是说什么？应可以信赖，是不是？
也可以在一定程度上是有保障的。
And we can say, at least to 在一定的程度上，
不是绝对的。总体是有利的。
总体就是接种疫苗是有利的。
在这种基础上，不要再倒了。
if that's how the vaccines are produced, then it's probably okay to say that overall, getting vaccinated will be beneficial 对有利是对社会有利还对个人有利？
都是一样。
Beneficial. This is not very easy to translate in a very precise way. I think what he's saying is, if the product, the quality of the product is good, then we can have quite some level of surety and to expect that this vaccination will be beneficial.
那么这个安全和有效性怎么保障呢？什么来保障安全和有效性？拿什么来保障？
So who can ensure that the vaccines will be safe and effective?
两个。
Two things are important.
一个是广泛的、深入的、有效的、严谨的实践来检验它。
In terms of the process of the scientists' work, one is that it has been tested on a very large scale and has proven to be very safe.
第二靠实践。
And the second thing that is really important, the second parameter is time.
足够有效的实践和实践能够证明这些它的安全和有效性。
So these two things are very crucial, to ensure safety and effectiveness.
这需要我们每个人从自己的角度，用更合理的角度来评判它。
So hopefully this provides you some, leads as to, for you to make, a good and fair and objective judgment on this and decision on this.
会有人问你会如何在这个问题上做选择？
Maybe some of you are wondering how Yuan Tze will make this decision, or what kind of decision he will make.
我会根据我的情况，我所处的真实的状况和需要来做一个相对有利的评判。
He will make a relatively make a decision according to the situation he's in, or the things he needs to consider in his life, and also his own personal condition.
它的原则就是，我选择和做决定的依据是，有些东西你不确定它的好坏有多少，很细的，但是你通过了解以后，你知道了很多的大概的趋势，有利的 还是相对有利还是相对有害的，你了解的越多的情况下，我的原则是叫什么？两权相害，取其轻，这个原则。
So he will make a decision after he has a good, he has developed a relatively, good understanding of the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine, and he will also take all the pros and cons into account, and his decision will be the one that will be. Say we don't have a perfect decision or choice, right? But he will choose one that is next to perfect. That means if he will go with the one that will cause less harm.
两个，一个相对更多有利的，如果说一个相对它也有害的地方，但相对比较少。这个有利就是对自己、对家人、对社会、对世界整体的来看，害处也从有害也从这个方面看，那么这个好处是更大一些。必须做选择的时候，那么我选择虽然两者同时存在，但是我还是做选择，做这个决定。
So this is how he would do it. He will look at the benefit and harm on himself and on people around him and on like for example society as a whole. Because this will not just affect ourselves. And so he will look at both harm and benefits on all these levels. And then he will choose one that will be more beneficial and less harm, in a relative term.
在我过去以来，我一直都是长期以来，快60岁了，很多的大半生我都是用这种原则来做取舍。
And this is the way he makes a decision very often. He's almost 60 years old, and this is often the way he decides, which to go with or which option to let go of.
它还是比较有益有效，但我们当然这种方法，尽管有效，当我们在能够做自己做自己主人的时候，越做一个纯粹的人以后，这也是不需要的。所有的更为合理的选择都在你的手里面，不需要，它自然会有一个合理的、正确的决断后反应。
But actually, this decision-making process doesn't need to be difficult. It doesn't have to be, torturous, so to speak. Yuan Tze found, because often for him, it is the decision of his Shen. He doesn't have to, toss and turn about about this, making a decision like this, because he will leave it to his Shen, and Shen will give a very clear answer to him effortlessly.
所以我现在的情况，每个人的情况不一样，就根据自己的情况。你看我现在就不着急要做疫苗，因为我的所处的环境还是比较干净的，没有社区的广泛流传的这种情况，所以没有必要去做。而这些疫苗应该给那些更需要的人首先去种。
Now, for example, the way his life is now, there is very little community transmission where we are, and when vaccines are available, and also our lives are very simple. We don't have a lot of contact with a lot of people, so when that's the way things are, he would think it's better to let the people who are more at risk to get vaccinated first.
更多人的需要，我明年可能也不会去种，没有特殊情况不会去种，但是有一个特殊情况，我有可能会种。
So at the moment, he doesn't see the need to get vaccinated. Not even next year, say when vaccinations are widely available, if they are widely available.
因为照计划，后年我们3、4月份，我们美国和欧洲，我们可能会跟大家去见一面，去交流学习，会有群体性活动。如果那个时候疫情还是需要我种，在那种情况下，我会选择种。
But we do have a travel plan in the year 2022. We're planning to have a retreat in the United States, so we will have to travel, and we will have a group, gathering there with lots of people, and so that will change, the factors he need to, will bring new factors he will need to, consider, and so 你说有可能会中了，是不是？
很大可能。
So
也应该会。
So he at the moment he would think that it's very likely that he will get vaccinated, for that.
在那种情况下，也是对自己这是真需要的情况下，选择接种，也是对自己、对他人、对社会，其实也是一种负责任的态度。
Because he considers that a responsible way to be, to himself and to all the people he will be in contact with.
好，今天上午上班时，我们主要是有关疫情的2个话题。本来这个内容非常多，我们是想这些的探讨。我发现这2个问题其实对很多人来讲是需要的问题，这个过程感受也非常好。
So in this first half of the session, we have talked about 2 things that are related to the pandemic. Yuan Tze really thinks it's necessary to talk about these things, and he feels good about talking about them, and he feels good that in then what he sense in the chi field is also making him feel quite good, very good.
特别是从精神意识层面上走得越来越深的 那种交融交流，感受非常奇妙。谢谢你。
He's really enjoyed the connection with you, especially when we are touching a very deep level of the heart and the consciousness. That integration and unification with you has brought a lot of really wondrous feelings to him. Very amazing and wonderful feelings.
好，接下来呢，我们上半场先到这儿，到10:33，我们先休息一下，然后再继续进行下半时。
Okay, now it's time to have a break. So we come back at 10:33. Okay, 10 minutes. Okay.
好了，我们现在大家又回来了。接下来呢，我们进行从现在开始，已经开始就正式的对我们同学们所提出来的一些问题进行探讨。
Welcome back to the second session, part of the session, and it's time to look at your questions.
这里面要讲的就是同学们提出来的所有的问题，其实都是很好的问题，而且没有一个问题是一个简单的一个问题。
First of all, Yuan Tze would like to say that he really appreciates the questions you ask. We've got a list already for today, and they are all very good questions. But on the other hand, even when the questions are about some, very specific things, nothing is, even when we are looking at a very specific thing, it is not a small thing to look at.
因为我们知道世界上的最大的真相就是整体，它是现实的，而每一个所提出来的具体的事物、事情，它本身就是一个整体，和整个一切的整体是相联系的，所以不存在一个很简单容易的问题。要真正弄清一个问题的真相，就是它的整体。所以说呢，如果从整体的角度上来讲，我们去讲是几乎不可能。
Because everything, however small it may seem, is a totality. Okay, which means it has connection with everything else in in the universe. So when we try to understand something, it is never a simple matter. Because understanding something thoroughly means understanding the totality. So, so the point we're trying to make here is that we shouldn't 对不起，我知道刚刚你说什么，就说没有一件事情是是什么？
是简单的、容易的，都是整体的体现。所以
Okay, yeah, that was it. Everything is a totality or is a manifestation of the totality. So nothing is, that simple to look at.
所以呢，我们在大家提出来回答问题当中，不太可能像过去我们活动当中有可能一个问题一个上午2-3个小时，而且2-3个小时也是象征性的回答，在这个里面可能是更象征性的回答。
With the limited time we have, it is therefore unlikely that we can look at anything in a thorough way. In the past, Yuan Tze would spend the whole session answering one question, and even when that's the way he did it, his response was the discussion was still only just a very small part of the totality, relating to the topic. And today we have, just, the second half of the session, and we have many questions to look at. So really, what he's going to do is just share a few points that he, considers important, for you to look at.
也就是我们提供的所有的资讯和答案，它是不完整的， 但是就是希望在这个不完整的当中，这些当中能够给一些启示，给一些帮助和滋养。
That's is to say, we're not giving you any complete answers. Okay, no such a thing here. At most, we can only provide a few, leads or things you can continue to follow to help you find the more about the topic you need the answer to.
好，接下来我们还是继续回归到，让我们回到自己的家心里面来进行。
Before we start on the questions, Yuan Tze would like us to take a moment to come back to our home, to our hearts.
回到家里面，我们的主人就可能会出现，也可能就会做主了。
When you're at home, it's possible that the master of this home will show up, will be able to take charge.
今天呢，这里面我们有8道题，我们准备从第8个问题，先来谈一谈。
So we have 8 questions today, and Yuan Tze would like to start with the 8th one.
因为这个问题呢，对于很多同学不能时时参加的人，他们可能比较关注，特别是欧洲的同学。
Because this question concerns those of you who are using the recording to catch up the class, in a delayed form, especially those of you who are in Europe.
你先给大家读一下。
Okay, so the question reads, can you discuss the nature of our chi field across and through time? You all have built a strong and beautiful chi field live. And now I'm here with 3 others 4 hours later, opening to this universal chi. What is the 4 hours to this chi? How do you see or feel the chi field in relation to this delay?
有关于在气场里面参加活动，同时也有关于怎么样才能更好的有收益。
So this is a question about how to participate in the chi field, and also, so in a way that you can get most of it. Get the maximal benefit from it.
在了解这个问题之前，我们呢先简单了解一下什么是气，什么是信息，什么是气场。
So let's start with looking at what is chi, what is information, and what is the chi field.
气呢，我们同学应该是蛮熟悉的，它是构成，都知道是构成我们整个宇宙万事万物的根本，也是我们人生命当中不可缺乏的重要存在。
Qi is the basic or fundamental building block of everything in the universe. Everything in the universe. So it is like the element that is in everything in the universe, and and it's also an indispensable element of a human life as well.
气有不同层次的存在，同时也有不同形式的存在。这个形式就是有形之气和无形之气， 站在气的角度上，都是气的不同存在形式。
And so, in a narrow sense, qi is this, non-physical existence that participates in the, formation of everything, every object and being. But in a broad sense, we can say everything is also a form of qi, including the physical objects.
有形之气和无形之气不断的发生有无相生的规律性的转化和变化。
And we can say, physical qi in physical objects are qi in a highly concentrated form, and qi transforms, constantly. We can say, and everything in the universe is in the process of qi transformation. So, either in the process of qi, non-physical qi, transforming and becoming physical form, or the other way around.
那么性性呢，简单说是一种特殊的存在，它呢原则上本身并不带有质量和能量的特性。
Information is a very special form of existence. It itself does not have the qualities of materials or 质量或能量的特性 or energy.
但是呢，它和质量、能量，我们讲质量和能量就气的不同形式的表现，它又是这个不同形式表现的气，它是发生运动变化的决定性的因素，也是导向。
它也是一种气，是不是？
不是气，
不是东西啊。But it plays a very vital role in the change of energy and mass or materials, because it is what is instructing how energy or qi will change.
打个简单的比方可能好了解一点，什么是信息？比如说我们意识活动的产物，意识活动的产物就是信息。
And information can come from many different sources and different forms as well. For example, the activities of the consciousness, human consciousness, what it puts out is a form of information.
信息是气的主宰、导向。所以它两个是不同的存在，当它们相互结合在一起，一般的情况下是无法那么清楚的把它分别开，就是分离开。
So information is what is telling qi or energy what to do, and without this qi being its medium, there is no change, and so it's often is not easy to separate them, because they are constantly kind of integrated.
所以说我们就说气意识是气的主宰，也是生命的主宰，也就是这个原理。
And so human consciousness, and the qi, the information from there, has this, effect or ability to guide, to determine how the qi in the body will change. Not just in the body, qi in general will change. And so this is why we often say the consciousness is the master of qi.
那么这里面问题提的是，就是参加活动，我们在一起就形成了一个强大的气场，客观上。
And now we've come together to attend this retreat, and this will actually help form a very strong chi field, a chi field.
不管活动的气场，任何事物的存在都有它特定的气场。那么活动的气场，它在自然的气场的基础上，我们进一步的把它强化的提高了，朝有利于我们健康和人生提升的方向，带有特定内容的方向去发展的。
But actually, the chi field is everywhere. You know, everything has its chi field, and so chi fields are everywhere naturally. But what we do here is to use this event, you know, the time and activities we do together here, to transmit specific information into the, you know, the chi, the natural chi field here, and that information is meant to help chi or direct chi in a certain way, you know, for, you know, the purpose we would like the chi field to help us achieve.
事实上怎么样呢？我们很多的同学已经长期的通过学习实践，也感受过这样的气场。在气场里面，我们的健康，包括我们的治疗，包括我们的活动，不同内容是我们的健康、我们的气、我们的人生，包括很多方面。在这个过程当中，就在发生改变。事实，你的改变就说明了这一切。
And so when you attend a retreat or an event like this in a chi field, you know, you're working in a chi field, you know, the information will help you, and the chi will help you make the you know, the due change. And this is the experience of many of you already, you know, from all the learning and working, the work you do in this chi field, you know, all kinds of change could happen.
这些呢，从气的角度上来讲，我们就了解气的特点，它有很多特点，其中也包括气有保留信息和传递信息的特性，所以它能做到这一些。
And all this is possible because Qi has the ability or the property of retaining information and transporting information, or, you know, carrying information.
我们在气，比如说我们面对面在气场里面参加活动，并没有太亲密的接触，通过我们的精神意识发放的信息，引起大家形成意识的共鸣，通过气场的传递引起共鸣，然后发生作用。这是我们传统的常规的以前的做法。
And so that's why in the chi field, you know, the transmission of information, you know, can work very well, you know, because of the you know, chi's qualities there, you know, retaining and transporting, conveying information. And, you know, that this means there is no need for, you know, for example, you know, personal touch, you know, touching a person for information to go from one person to another person.
那么同样的还有一种现象，比如说治疗远距离的，用电话约时间，用视频进行治疗，也同样起到面对面线的效果，它也是这个原理。
And once the information is in the chi field, you know, it will be there, you know, preserved by the chi there. And also, you know, you can see how it works from how remote healing works as well. The person who does remote healing on another person, can be thousands of miles apart from one another, but the information can still be transmitted to that person, to the other person, with the use of the consciousness.
对这一切，对于很多人来讲，是否好理解？因为是实时的，是现场的，或者是实时的发生作用，好理解。但对于不在实时当中能不能起作用，可能有一些疑惑。
Most people probably find it, easy to understand when everything is happening live. You're doing it, and I'm at the same time there, receiving the information. But how does it work when the receiving is delayed?
比如说我们现在活动，通过这个视频，实时的好像没有问题，但是我没有那个时间看，或者我正在休息的时间，我延后看，会不会起到同样的效果呢
？So often people are wondering if I'm watching the recording next day or a few hours later when the talk has already ended, would it still be just as effective?
回答是肯定的。
The answer is positive.
关键是我们的什么样的态度来对待它，看待和对待它。
And the key is how you do it.
这是决定性的因素。
Okay, that's what will determine, the effectiveness of it.
从气和信息的关系当中，我们开始了解，信息一旦产生，它就被气，原则上来讲，长期的、永久的被保存下来。
As a general rule or principle, once information is produced, it's there, it will be retained by qi forever.
打个比方，它可以其他的形式，比如说通过物质的层面，通过其他层面，书、电子产品、各种器材、语言，乃至什么也没有，它就被保留，把这一刻的那个不断的真实的整体的气场和信息全部被保留下来了。
And information can be recorded in all kinds of ways or conveyed in all kinds of ways. For example, through talking or through, reading materials, through, the electronic devices we use every day, and or through nothing, no physical medium. Once information is there, qi will, preserve it.
就打个比方，我们很多同学就有一些同学这样的经验，看我们的书，看着看着，有些健康问题在看书过程当中莫名其妙突然就没有了，在看着看着，人生这个思想这个观念也在发生变化，甚至有很大的突破。为什么？书里面完整的保留了它本有的信息，当我们的一个正常的心态来读它，发生关系的时候，它就在那个时候起作用了。
Many of you probably have the experience of through reading, for example, Yuan Tze's books, your health problems changed for the better, or other problems, life problems also show change, improvement. This is because the books also retain the information, the original information, where the teachings have come from, and when you read the book in the right way, which means you are relating to the information from a right place, from a good place, that information can start to work and make you change.
还有更多的就是比如说我们的影像制品，比如说教师培训，很多人从来没有参加我们面授的，不是面授的，而是全是在家自己看自己学。在这个过程当中，只要去认真的正常的对待，有一个正常的心态的话，他不断的在学习的过程当中很好的完成了全部的过程。在这个过程当中，他自己的健康的人生也在不断的改变和提升，而且最终成为一个和我们面授一样的合格的老师，同样一样。
Many of you have been doing the teacher training using distance learning materials, and that works the same way. Some of you have never met Yuan Tze and me in person, but still, watching the recordings of the live sessions we had in the past will give you the same access to the information, the chi field that was was there when the live teaching happened. So the same kind of change, learning and change can happen. 都一样，不光是我们的书、我们的产品、我们的所产生的一切能产生作用、产生影响，其他类似性所有的东西，它里面也同样有气、有信息，可能作用不一样，意义不一样，但是信息是一定存在的。 So the information and chi field can be accessed, and not just with the materials we produce, the range of materials, but everything, everything.
这就是延迟，没有实施，它同样起作用。
So a delayed class or learning, it works the same.
因为信息是超越时间和空间的。
Because information is not bound by time or space.
所谓超越，就是不受时间和空间的限制。
No, it can operate beyond time and space.
所以我们过去讲说，意识不受时空的限制，就是这个道理。意识产生的产物是信息，一样不受时空的限制。
And that's because the consciousness is not bound by time or space. So its product information has the same ability or quality.
在那个有时候有一些人需要帮助，过去来讲，一开始更多的实施，给他们一些调整，也可能给他们一些遥控，也起到一些相应作用。
In the past, Yuan Tze has done a lot of healing in person. Also, he did healing in a remote way as well.
到后来发展成什么？在帮人有时候 特定的情况下需要帮助的情况下，当我一知道这个情况的时候，马上信息就发出了。他需要的那个时间，我发出的时间并不是他需要的时间，或者是约定的时间，我已经发出了。但是真正到了约定的时间，我可能在忙其他事情，我可能就没有想这个事情，但最后起的作用和意义，只要对方的心态状态是好的，相关的作用和实施发放是一样的。
Sometimes, people need support or healing at a certain time, in the future, and so and when they ask Yuan Tze to help, Yuan Tze will actually set the, will actually do the healing or build the chi field straight away when the request is received. But the time will be set at a later time, and at a later time when Yuan Tze may not have the time to to do it then, but that will work just as the same, and the key is at that time, the scheduled time, the person who is receiving is in the right state.
所以现在的情况是，有可能是实时的，按照约定时间的在发放，有可能是提前定制的，但这个没有限制，意义是一样的。
So when people request a remote healing, Yuan Tze may do it at the time they need it, or preset it for them, and both way work well. Both work well.
所以说呢，我们呢，就是为什么一定要为这个方法是实施，这就是我们的过去的习惯性的看得到、摸得着的，同时间、同场的，或者至少同时间的，那才比较确定、比较可靠。那只是我们的片面的理解，不完整的理解。
Often we still feel, it will work only when the two parties are doing this together simultaneously, when it's live. But actually that's just a lack of understanding of how qi and information work. That's due to our partial understanding of how they work, because it doesn't have to be that way.
本来没有问题，但障碍来源于哪儿？你觉得有问题，你觉得收不到信息，你觉得差很多，你觉得不完整，甚至你觉得不会起作用，那么你这个先入为主，你已经确定了，你觉得你已经把这个信息导向已经成为主导了，那就形成我们在进行精神层面、生命层面信息的完整的交流起作用，就自然就形成了一大障碍，就会影响它的效果。
But what will really affect the effectiveness of delayed learning, for example, is how you see it. If you think this will not work as well as live, or if you think it is not going to work, or if you think if you think this is a barrier, then it will be like that. It will be that way. And so it is totally, how you relate to it. 这也要真正的
能够把所有的活动能够参加，能够让它更完整的那个不一定是实时的。你在特殊情况，因为你是休息的时间，因为有其他特殊情况，你完全可以用自己方便的时间来安排，它不会，只要我们心态态度正确，不会，我们应有的收获不会有任何的影响。
So it is not a problem at all if you cannot watch or do this live, if you have other things to do and can only catch up on the recordings later. As long as your mind and heart are in the right place, the effectiveness and the information you get will not be compromised at all. You will still get everything.
那如果有这种状况，如何改变呢？其实也不难，从无心开始。
And if you still are unsure and you want to, make change to it, it's not difficult either. You just have to. You can start from your heart, from the 5 Xin qualities.
不需要那么多，就一个信任，就走解决这个问题。
And even just one quality can, make it completely right. Just for example, have trust.
真正的一个纯粹的信任性被发展起来了，不仅仅是我们在活动当中真正受益，在我们的日常生活当中每一个当下都会受益，你都会有利你的进步和成长。
Having trust is not only beneficial to your learning, to your experience of this retreat. It's going to be good for everything you do, to every aspect of your life.
好，这个问题简单到这儿。
Okay, so that's the response to this question.
接下来第一道题，读一下。
第一是不是？So now let's start from the top of the list, in the order of the time the questions came in. Okay, I'm very interested in the depth of the 6 verses for building a chi field, and I also feel it is very important to fully understand it.
这个问题呢，了解口诀在员工当中是非常有价值、非常重要的一个应用内容。
6 verses is a very important part of 员工 practice. It's a very valuable part of 员工 application.
刚才这个同学问这个问题，这是个非常爱学习、想多学习的一种表现。
This is a very good question. It shows the questioner is very enthusiastic about learning more about 员工 and the 6 verses.
这个问题呢，我们在教师培训的第1期当中，包括在后期当中，陆陆续续也有不同角度、不同程度有讲到过。所以说，从我们同学们一般的情况应用它来讲，目前应该是可以足够支撑你的应用。
Yuan Tze has taught the 6 verses in depth at the first level of teacher training, and that teaching the teachings are also available, through the teachers can share the teachings with students as well when they teach. Yuan Tze considers that the amount and depth of teachings covered on that level of training sufficient for our practice at this stage? It's not just sufficient, as it can work very well for our practice already.
我们很多人都喜欢学习，知道更多，那没问题。但是我们说真正知道，它不仅仅是知识的掌握，它需要真正的知道，是我们需要能够做到。
It is true that it's important to fully understand it, but true understanding cannot come from just learning, the knowledge about it. It has to come from application or practice.
而真正的做到，真正的人能够做到，就需要把我们所知道的正确的那些内容，合理的、长期的、认真的去实践。在实践的过程当中，才会让我们真正开始越来越多的去了解它。
So this would require, application or applying or putting everything you have learned, you have understood at this stage into your practice, and also very consistent practice for a sustained period of time. This is how understanding can truly be deepened.
所以说，现在真正，比如说了解口诀，我们在很不同的程度上已经掌握了不少了。那么我们如何才能更真正了解这里了解口诀它是什么，能给我们带来什么不一样，而不是知道的更多，需要我们去好好去实践，反复实践去应用，在这过程当中会不断的带来给我们新的体验，甚至惊喜，而这些都是我们越来越知道的多了，真正了解他在说什么。
So Yuan Tze thinks what we have learned about the 6 verses is enough for us to apply in our practice, but it is from the real practice, to keep using it in our practice in our daily life, that we can discover what each verse really means. And from the new experiences we get from applying them, and from the things we discover about the things the things we can discover about what they can do to life. So it is through very consistent and good practice that we can keep improving our understanding of the verses.
那么真正知道6句口诀他在说什么，那么就是要知道我们6句口诀它的对我们人意味着什么。
And we practice the 6 verses, for a good reason, and so we need to know what it is.
因为我们现在的人，现在我们知道了，我们的生命状态、我们的精气神、我们的心神意识是无法相合统一，而处在一种不正常、不健康的状态当中，这是我们人类的常态。
So let's look at what we are actually trying to achieve through the 6 verses. If you look at the usual state we humans are in, most of the time, we can say it is not a very healthy state.
那么这个要回归到正常的状态，生命状态应有的状态，就是松静、自然、祥和、和谐、统一，一个觉的状态。那么我们离这个很远，怎么办？我们需要有一个内容，需要一个可以把握的内容，唤醒我们，让我们学会和培养进入到这种状态当中来。
Which means, we are not in the natural state we humans, should be in. And that natural state is, calm, relaxed, natural, unified, and harmonious state. And also when, we are fully aware, we have this 觉, this self-awareness, we are clear about what is going on in our lives all the time. So this is not the state we usually are in, and so we need something to help us get back to this healthy state. And the 6 verses is a tool that can help with that.
那么一开始在我们练功6级口诀，就把成我们一个不正常的一个人的状态，建立起一个桥梁，进入到越来越正常的、健康的人的生命状态当中，它起了一个桥梁的作用。
So when we say practice, we use the 6 verses to help us bridge from the usual, not so healthy state, not so natural state, to the natural healthy state. So it's a bridge, to help us move over.
而这个桥梁有多大，都有意义，是随着我们不断的时间的深入，随着我们的改变和提升，它会不断的深入。
And how well this bridge works really very much depends on how much we use it, how often we use it.
当然，让我们从不正常的状态进入正常的状态，不断改变和提升的，不仅仅是6级口诀，6级口诀仅仅是开始。接下来有一系列从各个方面来帮助我们改变提升的方法和应用，有员工的系列共9节功法，它起更重要的作用。
And so at the beginning of every Yuan Gong practice, of every method, we use the 6 verses as part of the preparation for the practice. But of course, the method that follows the 6 verses, are even, more important for, this, change we try to make.
所以从这个角度上来讲，我们现在知道，不一定就是要一些更多的知识，重在现有的知识我们了解的基础上，总要去认真的、正确的去努力实践，而且全面的、整体性的实践，持续不懈，才是我们真正的学习、真正的了解，而且最终是真正的收获。
So Yuan Tze's advice is that at this stage, we don't need to focus so much on learning more about it. Rather, we can focus on applying it, to make the deepen the understanding and make the experience of the 6 verses real and our own. So consistent practice is the key at this stage.
好，那接下来第2条。
Okay, the next question. How do I further accept, expand, and retain my heart's 5 Xing ability to integrate the universe's energetic transmission of heart-based wisdom information? Also, how do I energetically release, if necessary, any unconscious energetic resistance from my heart, Shen, Qi, that possibly prohibits acceptance and integration of new energetic wisdom information?
这个问题好像问的不是那么，可能是我的原因，不是那么清晰，我一下没能了解。
This question was 我说我好了，我的你看的是我的翻译，
也有可能是我的问题。
Was not so clear to me, so I did my best to translate it into Chinese for Yuan Tze, but I'm not quite sure he really gets it.
那还是按照我的想象和理解来简单探讨一下这个问题。
But he will still answer this question, but according to his understanding of it. 但是这个题目问得非常好，就是说想要从自己的人生，包括从气、从心、从神，特别从五行方面，能够真正能培养和发展起来。这个题目，这个用意非常好。Still, Yuan Tze wants to say this is a very good question because the intention of the questioner is to use his or her heart and qi and shen to receive information from the universe in a more effective way.
同时呢，这里面透出一个东西，就是也认识到自己的气，包括他自己的心灵和自己的神，还有很大的就是那个改变和提升的空间在里面。
And also, it's really good to know that the questioner recognizes the need to work on Xin and Shen and Qi in order to be able to accept and integrate the wisdom information better.
我们的气不足、不通、不正常，就会导致我们的身体、我们的精神，包括我们的健康会产生很多问题。这个我们知道。
As you probably know that when qi is not healthy, it can have effects on every aspect of life, including our heart, our consciousness, and our physical health, of course.
当我们的心、当我们的意识产生就是在这个客观上，在它的作用之下，使我们人生产生很多很多的问题，很多的痛苦，也制造了很多的问题，但其根源都是我们都知道，都是模式在起作用。
And when the heart and the consciousness are not working that well, they can have the same kind of effect on life. And we probably also know that when the heart and the consciousness are not really operating the way that serves our lives, it is mainly because of the unhealthy patterns on the consciousness level.
当我们的心灵模式广泛存在的时候，我们的心 作为我们的神的家，它就没有家了，谁也不能够呈现了。
And the consciousness, unhealthy consciousness on that level can actually affect the heart as well. So we can form unhealthy patterns on the heart level as well. And when the heart is, controlled by the unhealthy patterns there, we can say that we have lost our home.
当我们的处在意识模式，我们的人生处在意识模式被检主导之下的人生展开的时候，真我不见踪影，而给我们生命、给我们人生做主的是模式构成的假我。
And when that's how life is, unhealthy patterns are the main, things that are running our lives. Then then the true self will be mostly out of sight. It will not be able to, manifest its function to take charge of life.
在这种情况下，我们人生要想实现越来越多的、越来越好的健康、快乐、幸福、成长、觉悟、智慧，它无疑是困难的，这是一大障碍。
And that poses a big, obstacle for all the things we would like to have in life. Good health, happiness, a strong sense of well-being, growth, development of realization and wisdom. All these things will be very hard to reach, hard to get.
在这个里面呢，他提出一个测范，就是可能就是有一些情况产生，包括一些情绪产生，嫉妒在那儿要测范。那么我的意识里面产生一些不好的东西，一些负面力量要测范，心里面不好的东西要测范。我只是个人理解的。
And the question mentioned release, releasing, release any unconscious energetic resistance from my heart, Shen and Qi. So Yuan Tze's understanding is that probably the person can feel that on these levels there are things that are, blocking, there's some kind of blockages there, or things that are not so positive there, that are making it difficult for information to flow freely.
测范，有时候我们去测范一下，当问题产生了，让自己很难过了，去测范一下，或许我们感受上好一些。在某个角度上来讲，也有可能有那么一些短期的意义，但是从根本上来讲，测范不能帮助我们根本上解决问题。
When we use the word release, often, it's, referring to, like venting, some pent-up feelings or emotions, and when that's how things are releasing, can make us feel better, but that often doesn't really doesn't really tackle the root of the problems.
比如说，打个简单的比方，情绪，一旦情绪产生，会发生什么？
For example, when we experience negative emotions.
在座的有没有没情绪的？
Have you experienced negative emotions? It's probably very difficult to have no negative emotion at all.
当我们那些不良情绪产生了以后是什么？只要产生了，不管我们表达出来还是不表达出来，它的伤害已经造成，比如说从气上造成气的消耗、紊乱，导致气的不正常，一定会产生。
What negative emotions do is, immediately, they cause harm. They cause harm, firstly to our qi. Whether the emotions are, bottled in or expressed, this kind of harm will be done immediately.
当我们情绪多了，如果我们不发出来、不释放出来，但是他情绪已经产生了，我们有些能忍受憋住，但是长时间憋住可能也是一个问题，它会行为伤害气是客观还是造成了，气还是乱的，甚至还会其他的问题。
So suppressing emotions when we have them, unhealthy emotions, is really not a good way, to deal with emotions, because it can actually, not only cause harm to our qi and body as we experience them, over time. It can cause a lot of, chronic problems. It can have long-term effect.
释放出来是一个伤害，释放出，因为情绪我们已经知道了，但是释放出来好像感觉舒服一些，被释放了。不释放出来同样也有问题，感觉舒服一点，但是伤害是形成了。
So releasing the emotions we have will actually make us feel better, because we're letting some of them out, but the process of releasing can also cause harm as well. So either way, unhealthy emotions will cause harm in slightly different ways, though.
那释放出来，问题解决了没有？没有解决。该发生什么？该有的情绪它还会发生。如果我们一碰到相同的问题，一直有那个情绪去发生，可能还会变本加厉的情绪还会发生，伤害还会继续。
Releasing can maybe make us feel better temporarily, but it doesn't really solve the problems. When the same trigger is present, or when the same situation happens, the same emotional reaction can still occur.
我们说之前一次是对自己的伤害，其实只要是伤害，无论是自己对外面，只要是对自己有害的，一定对外面也是相同的影响，对他人、对这个自然、对这个世界，对外面有害的也同样会反馈到自己的身上。我们讲自己，并不是排除其他的，一定是整体的有害，都是整体的影响。
And when we look at the harm unhealthy emotions can do to us, it's not just an internal thing. What can harm us can also harm what's outside us, the outer world. It's all part of the totality, so harm is can be done to the outside as well. It's actually the same the other way around. What can cause harm externally can also cause harm to us personally. So, it is not easy to have a, clear cut, line there to say it is only affecting me, myself.
那么从这个道理上，我们知道，比如说气，我有了气，我一生气，我很生气，我憋住，很难过。那么我放出来，感觉舒服一点，因为气堵在那儿，郁在肝脏里面，一发出来，冲上来，不同的走向，但是伤害是同样的。虽然舒服一点，并没有说减轻伤害，伤害同样存在，但是这个问题没解决。一有碰到问题，因为这个情绪的问题，不因为你吃饭的情绪就不存在，它还会存在。
So when you feel angry, what happens is, it will activate your liver qi, and the liver qi will, go up and make you, and cause a lot of disturbance to our qi, along the way. And that's what happens when we release the anger, when we express our anger. And so certainly, a lot of damage can be done when we do that. But again, if we suppress the anger, we don't express it, then, it will cause the qi, especially the qi in the liver, to stagnate, to, start to undergo some unhealthy change there. And again, it is a form of harm. So either way, it's causing harm. Or despite that, releasing makes us feel better. And none of them really touches the real root of the problem.
吃饭也可以把它从另外一种叫宣泄，另外一个词。
一样的意思，从英文。So releasing 一样的意思。He's using a different Chinese term to describe releasing, but it's the same in English.
那么宣泄导致情绪发生的根源是什么？是我们的意识如何看待，如何对待。那么意识为什么会出现偏差呢？好的，我们的心灵意识的偏差，那是我们心灵和意识的模式在使然。
So where does the anger come from? That's what we really need to look at, And if we look deep enough, we should be able to see that, the anger is a response to the, the activities or the thoughts we have on the consciousness level. They may not be conscious thought, but it's the process there that is, causing us to respond to things this way. And why we would respond, why would the thought be like that, causing anger? It's the unhealthy patterns of the consciousness. So that's the real, the root.
比如说我们处在心理模式当中，当心理模式在起作用的时候，发生的时候，我们如何去宣泄？
And we can have, unhealthy patterns on the heart level as well, as we said. So how do we release that?
能宣泄的只是情绪。
The heart is where we feel, we feel all kinds of emotions, all kinds of feelings. So what we can release from the heart is also feelings or emotions.
比如说，从五心 心灵模式本来是应该信任，但心灵模式信任出现问题的时候，它就是严重的不信任。不信任怎么去宣泄
？For example, in a healthy state, we should have trust in our heart. That's how we feel. But when trust is not present, doubt will take its place. Would be the dominant feeling. So, say, for example, doubt. So, how do we release doubt?
无非是恐惧、焦虑这种情绪只是表面，你宣泄这个情绪，害怕。背后呢？背后是不信任的情绪被进一步的强化，不但没宣泄掉，进一步被强化了。
Often, what we feel on the surface is, anxiety or fear. But what is behind that? It is often lack of trust. We can try to 你说的宣泄，其实就是感觉恐惧或焦虑，其实是进一步的
情绪的宣泄，但背后
可是你怎么宣泄焦虑啊？就是感觉焦虑。
情绪发生的时候就是一个宣泄的过程。
是哦。
让它发生，就是不控制它，让它激烈的发生情绪，宣泄出来，用情绪的方式来宣泄出来。但是这是情绪，能宣泄的情绪，但背后
宣泄的是那个不信任，由情绪宣泄出来，是不是？So the fear or anxiety we feel is we can say is a release of emotion coming from lack of trust or distrust. But when we do that, this release, the pattern of doubt or distrust will get reinforced.
这一宣泄并不能解决问题，还制造的更多的问题。
So, allowing these unhealthy emotions to be, without, any control doesn't really help. It is, just, making the underlying patterns even stronger.
意识模式，这是心理模式，意识模式更多的体现，制造更多的问题，同样的道理。
It is the same as how the patterns on the consciousness level work as well. Every time we allow them to get their way, they get strengthened.
这些宣泄解决不了我们的心灵和意识模式，唯一能够改变的是回归心灵本身应有的美好的心灵本身，回归它，我们去培养，去发展它。
So the good way to help us work on the patterns of the heart, on the heart level, the unhealthy patterns, is to go back to the natural innate qualities of the heart. For example, the 5 Xin qualities.
比如说信任出问题，不信任不是去相信，而是培养信任本身，回到信任的心的建立，从心中充满了信任，用充满了信任的这个心，就会自然的就更好的来信任自己和信任外面的，它是没有条件的自然呈现。
For example, the pattern of distrust. How how do we change that or transform that pattern? We can do it by cultivating trust. Cultivating the trust in ourselves and in others in the world, for example, and gradually, trust will build up, and more we get, pure. The trust will become stronger and more and more pure, and eventually we are able to trust in an unconditional way.
所有的心灵都是如此，回归它本身去发展它，不是相反写，只能使问题更严重。
So this is how we can deal with all unhealthy patterns on the heart. Using the heart qualities to, as the antidote for them.
那意识模式同样啊。要去改变它，去转换它，这才是应该，这是合理的途径。
It's the same as the unhealthy patterns on the consciousness level. We use the healthy patterns or healthier patterns to replace them. And through this replacement process, gradually, they can be transformed.
所以呢，这个问题呢，我们这样来答，只是我们就是不对自己对问题的可能不一定是原意，这个问题的理解来从这个角度来答。
So this is Yuan Tze's response to this question according to his understanding of the question.
这里面特色了一个，就是我们有了问题的产生，而不是宣泄。我们难过了。让我难受了，去宣泄，不是宣泄，而是自己去面对问题，找到问题，面对问题，去解决问题，才是解决从根本上再来解决问题的根本途径。
So an important point he was trying to make was that release is probably not the approach that will be most effective if what we want is to deal with problems at the root level. If we really want to, have an effective solution, rather is to go to where the real causes are and work on them. 现在有点尴尬，还有9分钟，我想再进行下一个问题，看来有点困难。It's a bit awkward now because we only have 9 minutes left and probably not enough time for another question.
从我的内心当中呢，现在这个题呢，就是从一般的情况和经验来看的话，可能的很多随着我们的学习的深入、探讨的深入，不是大家的问题越来越少，通常会越来越多。但是从我个人的角度上来讲，我是想大家提出来的问题都能够触及到，都能够得到探讨。
It's likely that as the retreat proceeds, there will be more and more questions because, as you look at things deeper and deeper, questions can arise. And for Yuan Tze, he would very much like to answer all the questions you ask.
所以从这个情况下，我是希望能尽量。可能的情况下，尽量快一些，多触及一些话题。
So the plan is really to answer questions in a relatively brief way, so we can cover as many questions as possible.
但是同时我又很清楚，我们不能单纯去追求快，快不是我们的目的。
But on the other hand,
多出几话题也不是我们的目的。
he's also very clear that we shouldn't be doing it for the sake of speed and number, covering as many questions as possible.
真正的
That's
目
not
的，
the goal.
真正的目的就一个，在这个有限的时间里面，使我们有更多的收获，更好的体验。
The goal is actually to make good use of the time we have here in a way that you can, what he shares can be most beneficial to you.
所以本着这个原则，我们不会因为想快而快，也不会因为想多而去多。
So that would be the basic principle he's following here, and so he will not just rush in order to do as many questions as possible.
所以呢，在接下来还有几分钟的时间，我们再讲一下明天、后天，我们就会有 Dory 和 Roberto 在上班室，要给大家进行交流。
And tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, the next 2 days, Dory and Norberto will be taking the first half of the class on these 2 days.
明天 Dory 呢会跟大家分享有关于悟性的培养和解释，因为悟性培养解释非常重要。
And tomorrow, Dory will start the class, and she will be talking about 5 心 qualities, 2个心。
主要是可能在信任和开放方面作为着手，跟大家。
And the main focus will be on trust and openness.
后天呢，Roberto 主要是这样也还有一个很重要的一个就是模式，我们如何去看待、对待、去改变模式，跟大家交流。
And on day 4, Norberto will be talking about patterns. Also a very important topic, focusing on, how to, what patterns are and how to look at them and deal with them, how to work on them.
希望用同样的心、同样的态度，没有分别的来参与这个过程。
Yuan Tze would like to encourage you to participate in these sessions with your heart, just like how you do with Yuan Tze's talks. No, there's no need to make a differentiation there.
好，接下来还有3分钟时间。现在的气场非常好，我们好好的把现在的气场、今天的气场好好收养一下。
Okay, the chi field is very good at this moment, so let's take a few moments to draw the chi and information back before we end this session.
好，大家自己主动调整进入状态，两眼轻轻闭合。
So gently close your eyes, adjust your body, and go into a very good state.
回归我们的内心，体会内心的美好和光明。
Come back into your heart. Feel your heart. Feel how wonderful it is over there. How wonderful it is to be in your heart, this bright and beautiful place.
心生意识相合统一，在一起。
And your heart is unified with your consciousness and your true self, your Shen.
体会自己与气场和所有的人完全相合统一在一起，没有分别。
And your heart is connected with everyone in the Qi field. We are all unified and have become one.
合场内敬畏的气和美好的信息统一在一起。
There's so much positive information in the Qi field and very pure Qi. Unify your heart with the Qi and information.
和宇宙无限的智慧和爱统一在一起。
And connect your heart with infinite wisdom of the universe, with the great love of the universe.
自己就在其中，自己就是宇宙，自己的内心，自己的内在充满了智慧，充满了爱。
You are completely one with the universe. You are the universe. Wisdom and love are within yourself.
体会内在的光明和美丽。
They are you. Look at the bright light within and without. Beautiful bright light.
两手分开，把宇宙气场周围的气场都收回体内，两手回丹田氧气。
Open your arms and draw all the qi and information back to your body, to your lower dantian. Put your hands on your lower dantian. Quietly nourish qi.
所有美好的信息生长于自己的生命当中，继续发挥作用。
All the wonderful information is within yourself. All the wisdom is within yourself. Allow it to do what it does, to make all the positive changes for you. Gently open your eyes.
好，12:03了，到时间了，非常感谢大家度过了一个美好的时光。
Thank you everyone for the wonderful time we've had today.
明天见。
See you tomorrow.